בוקר טוב חברים, י"א אין שפרי הר"ן. וכמה פעמים היה מדבר לפני השם יתברך דברי תחינות ובקשות מליבו. It would happen often, sometimes by Rabbeinu, that he would speak prayers from his heart. י"א. ונזדמנו בתור דיבוריו טענות יפות ותפילות נכונות ומסודרות. And it would happen that it just came out right. Sometimes the bodhidut, it just flows. And sometimes the diburim, the ta'anot, the claims, tefilot, nechonot, misudarot, everything, you got the argument, you made the sale. You're coming in to make the sale. Sometimes you don't have the words. Sometimes it's smooth. It's flowing. It's smooth. And Rabbeinu liked those diburim. Vaya kodvam etzlo lezikaron. We mentioned this. He would write them down. He would write down the prayers that he liked, that he made up. Lezikaron neman yeragil itpalel otam gam achar kach. So they should be able to say them later. Sometimes you have a tefillah that's one of a kind. And he would write them down so they could say them later. וכן היה רגיל בעניין זה לדבר בינו לבין קולו הרבה מאוד מאוד. Rabbeinu would speak a lot to Hashem. And Rav Nosson keeps saying it and keeps saying it and keeps saying it and keeps saying it. Because when you're going to learn Likutei Moran, you're going to find in Chelek Aleph, you're going to find about 400 Torot in Likutei Moran. And you know how many times it speaks about the Bodhidut? A few times. So if you're not a Breslever, and you don't have the Shimush, which we're doing now, okay, Bodhidut is a good thing, but you don't know how much emphasis Rabbeinu put on it. There's some things that the Rebbe said once, and some things he said all the time. Now, an official Torah in the Likutei Moran, we don't need to write it twice, because it's the same thing. But Rabbeinu would always speak about the Itbodedut. One thing that was always coming up was Nikudat Tova and Itbodedut. Nikudat Tova, Itbodedut, learning Torah, Kisidran, like we're doing now. Look how good it is. Kisidran. You can do a lot on your own, but the group, the train is the strongest. Rabbeinu would speak about Torah Kisidran, going etc., and especially Itbodedut. So that's why Rabbi Natan keeps speaking about it. One second, how many you just told us already? We're going to tell you again. וכל תפילותיו היו שיזכה להתקרב לשם יתברך. And what is he praying for? To come close to God. והיה לו טענות גדולות להשם יתברך על זה. And he had claims against Hashem. הסברים חזקים מעומק הלב לביסוס בקשתו, it says in my notes. Real convincing arguments why you gotta bring me close. Why it makes sense to bring me close. You know that the Gemara says that Chana didn't have children. So she comes to the Beit Mikdash and she's medaberet al liba. And Eli thought she was drunk. Eli thought she was drunk. What is this drunk lady talking to herself? And she said, no, I'm tzarat nefesh. I'm a pained person. I'm speaking el libi. I'm speaking to Hashem. Sometimes you can have it doesn't have to be loud. You can mumble. You can say it under your breath. And the Gemara, if I'm not mistaken, says what her prayer was. Hashem, please give me a kid. If not, I'm gonna go and isolate myself with a man, and then I'm gonna become a sota, and I'm gonna come over here, and I will not have done anything, and they're gonna give me to drink. And it says in your Torah that if a woman didn't do nothing and she drinks. So and then she gets a baby. So I'm gonna get a baby anyways. So please don't make me go through that. Give me a baby. That's what Chana said. You understand? Who is that baby? Shmuel. That's Keneged Aaron and Moshe. Moshe Aaron b'Shmuel Shemo. He's equal. The Gemara says to Moshe Aaron. Shmuel Navi is the. And that. Why is he? That was his level. He was going around Am Yisrael, and he was not staying in his place. He was going from place to place. He's the one that made David HaMelech king. He's the tzaddik in the time of the Melech. Shaul HaMelech, Shmuel HaNavi. It's Kodesh Kodeshim, Shmuel HaNavi.
His kever is on top of Yerushalayim.
Exactly.
No. Shmuel?
Shmuel HaNavi, top of
Shmuel HaNavi.
Anyways, what am I trying to say? The Gemara says, Lamnatzeach, Zamiru lemishimenatzchin oto v'sameach. Hashem wants you to win him. He wants you to beat him. He wants you to overcome him with good arguments. Now, what did we say? What's the argument? What do I want? A kid that's going to serve you. I want a kid that's going to be a tzaddik. I want a kid that's going to be Omenat Hashem. You think Hashem doesn't want that also to give it to me? But Hashem wants He wants you to convince him. So Hashem, you're going to have in your mind arguments, which it's all from Him. Everything is from Him. But you're supposed to do those types of things and come to like the bargaining table. You're coming to a business deal. You're coming to convince the one that can help you to come close to him. And like we said already a few times, which we have to internalize. If your son will come to you and you're asking him to do things and he says, it's hard for me, please help me, it makes sense that you should help me because of v'kacha, 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 v'kacha. So Hashem will just takes away the veils, puts the stamp. When there's a stamp in Shamayim that you're going to learn, when there's a stamp in Shamayim, you're going to come to the minyan. When there's a stamp in Shamayim, if you want to do Bodidut, if you want to do Chatzot, if you want to go, all those things, it's stamped in Shamayim. It's nothing to do with you. All you can do is plead your request. So Rabbeinu would plead his request and he would have ta'anot chazakot to Hashem. Imagine the ta'anot that he would have to Hashem to be able to win over Hashem. Why it makes sense that he should become a tzaddik? So you're allowed to do those things as well. You have to do it with a great respect in your ta'anot. You never come like Hashem owes you anything, doesn't owe you nothing. But you come like a beggar and you come like a son at the same time, and he's the king that he can fulfill all of the requests. And if it happens to you that you have a good prayer, so you write it down.
But Chana was kind of very aggressive.
She was pushing it? She was pushing it. Yes, it was
actually, Hashem loves these...
Azuk.
You got to be careful.
Yes.
Rabbeinu speaks about Torah Chet, that there's Tfilat Prinat Din. There's a Tfilat Pinchas. You know what? Pinchas makes a prayer. Pinchas vayifalen. He made arguments with Hashem to stop killing the 24,000 people. Moshe Rabbeinu says, Hashem, you don't forgive them, you erase me. You got to have big shoulders to do that, because if there's any iota of gava over there or not l'shem shamayim, the midat adin goes on you. You have to be kulo kadosh, kulo l'shem shamayim, kulo going to midat rachamim, because Hashem has both. Hashem, sometimes the midat adin is overcoming the rachamim, so the tzaddik has to be rachamim, and he has to overcome. So you have to know that sometimes if you have a good prayer, write it down and record it, and so you can say it over again. And actually, the Gemara Mishnah says in the Sechet Brachot that when they would come to Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa, and they would ask him to pray for a sick person, he would say, this guy's going to live, this guy's going to die. Yeah. They told him, you're a prophet? What are you? You're a prophet? He said, I'm not a prophet. Im shigurat tfilati bepiv yodea nishu mikuban. If it's flowing, it's smooth, it's going well, it's sata dishmaya, I know that Hashem is with me and it's going to work. And if not, I know it's not mikuban. Sometimes the tzaddik knows from the tefillah. So if you ever have a tefillah that's shugura bipiv, it's mikuban, you can write it down, you can tape it, you can use it for future references. Beruchim to you.